I call this one RFC prep. Holy cow, my bags are full. Oh, because I logged into the wrong warrior. Okay, why? Oh, right, I was heading to get the quest to RFC. And then gonna go through the tunnels, okay. Alright. Not too far away. Not too far away from 15. That's kind of it right there. That's part of hardcore, right? It's a good point, actually. It says somebody just joked and said thought we were all gonna make it and live forever, and then you gotta stay positive. It's a good point, actually. We will probably die soon, but a better question is how well our character lived. It's one of the reasons I'm trying to keep the log on this thing is to keep track of what Mmobeuswar. My head's on Cronigan today for some reason. Logged into him too. He did ding 40 yesterday. Decided I'd hop on him and get him over the line to get to 40 finally. But yeah, it's about what they do along the way. I could just kill green mobs and get to 60. But is that really fun or exhilarating or interesting? So, try to do some stuff, but you know, there are still some places where I've been playing it safe, like not taking down Gazoos because I didn't need to, and he was too close to the elite. Okay, now we're heading to Silver Pine. Sepulcher, get the flight point, turn in the pendant. I did get the pendant, right? Yeah, I do have the pendant. Watch for some mining nodes along the way. Yeah, on my 40 warrior, I'm kind of in a weird spot because he was leveling, and he's not. He's just normal self-found. He's not trying to do the add-on, so he's essentially doing server rules and not community rules. So he's been grouping a fair bit. He started out as kind of one of a trio. He I think is the only surviving. Yeah, he's the only survivor from that trio. We got up to RFK, and the group kind of fell apart, and there were some deaths. We didn't get into RFK yet. This was leading up to RFK. But we did all the dungeons up to RFK, and so he was kind of a dungeon runner. But then, while waiting for everyone else to level back up, he was level 37? No, not 37. RFK was 32. We were ready to go into RFK at 32. And then other folks were leveling back up, so he was kind of staying parked until RFK was, folks were ready for RFK again. But he'd hop on and level some stuff, and I decided I wanted to like spend some time. I can't remember. He got up to level. I don't remember what level I started it. Actually, I started it pretty early as far as I was herbalism alchemy, and I was making sure I had the mats for all the things for the warrior quest and 2 warrior quests, the whirlwind axe and the brutal armor. But to get brutal armor, you need iron bars. So I had said I'd decide later whether I was going to do that or not. So I did, like, while waiting anyway. I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and do this. So he'd hop on every now and then and go level a little bit, or help other people level, and go farm the mats for whirlwind. So he wasn't like focused on it or anything. He was kind of all over the place. But so I leveled from 32 to 38. Like I said, either helping people or just going around getting mats. And I guess questing too. So there's a few times he was just like, look, I'm just going to go quest. But anyway, then I had eventually dropped herbalism for mining to get all the way back up to get the iron bars. And I tackled the whirlwind axe first. So I got all the mats for the whirlwind axe when I hit 38. So at 38 I started to do the higher level, harder stuff. The trolls, tusks, and the charms from the elementals. The elementals are like 39. I did get a little help from one of my friends, shaman, killing that. Those anyway, I needed 24 charms and something like 30 troll ears or troll something or others. So I got all the mats and then had the shaman help me with killing Cyclonian also. And I think the Cyclonian kill, so I got him at 38. But as soon as I turned in the quest, I dinged 39 on the turn-in, I'm pretty sure. So 39, just watch out for Son of Arugal here. Right there, look at that. Okay, we're not going to go over there. Son of Arugal spotted. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to try to remember to do this. I don't know if it tells me what level. I guess I should look at these entries to see if it gives me details like what level I was. Nope. So I'm going to include level on the comment. So now you got Whirlwind Axe, and then you had the Brutal Armor stuff, so went around. I think I had to finish one more Brutal Armor thing, didn't I? Oh yeah, I needed to get the file of phlogiston from Rugug in RFK. That was one of the reasons I wanted to run RFK. Was I was ready to. That's the last thing I needed for brutal armor. So if that was the last thing I needed for brutal armor, yeah, I think the whirlwind axe needs the iron bars. I'll have to go look. But anyways, the shaman and I at 39. I was 39. The shaman was 35. We soloed RFK up to Rugug.
Greetings. Our bats are well trained and fed. You'll not find faster.
Just to get the file of phlogiston, and then that finished that up. So then I did the brutal armor, initial brutal armor turn in, and then I did all the other brutal armor quests, which were way easier. They were all gray mobs at that point. Okay, so now I am ready to hearth, I think. I'm not going to do any of these quests. Actually, you know what? Should Mobius go ahead and spend the time to go get the sand? Delivery to Silver Pine. I should have picked up that one anyway. Naked Eye. Speak with Coleman. It's in here somewhere. You know what? Maybe I will. I've got the sticky glue. And he's not going to do my engineering. So it would be good to have some slumber sand. And I've got some time this morning. I'm not in a hurry.
Greetings. Our bats are well trained and fed.
So back to the Undercity. So yeah, he got the whirlwind axe, dinged 39, got brutal armor, and so then I don't know, that was like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, and then I've been leveling this guy and another guy, and I was like, you know what, let me just get him to 40. He's so close. So hopped on and finished up Desolus, and well, most of Desolus. I think I still have a. So over in Desolus, there's a quest to go get something down here out of a cave or something. I've got that quest to do. And there's like an elite quest or something, but for the most part finished or caught up Desolus anyway. And then hopped over to Arathi Highlands, and there were 2 quests over there. One to kill some ogres to the south. The ogres. Down here-ish. No, the raptors were over here, and the ogres were not the trolls down here, but around here somewhere. Near the raptors. Got those 2 quests finished, and went up to Hammerfall, and on the turn in I dinged 40. So anyway, those kinds of things, like, you know, remembering Chronigan did that. Don't think I'll remember that later, so I kind of wanted to started using Questy's notes for that kind of stuff. So I remember, what did this character do? What were the cool things? What's his story? And I want to revitalize the service I was building. The service I was building back in old hardcore community days. If you lost your, the way everything was tracked was through the hardcore add-on. That's how you'd verify yourself too, is to prove that you had the hardcore add-on all the time, and it keep track of some stuff. And, but the thing is if you ever lose the local data file, then your run was over because you couldn't verify it anymore. So I was building a service that would back it up for you. So it would run locally, and every time the files were changed, it would upload it to back it up. And yeah, you can use like a normal backup service for that, but I wanted to make it like just dumb, simple for this specific use case, instead of having to know, all right, well, open up your Dropbox backup service or whatever, tell it to go navigate over to the file structure and tell it to back up this one and all that stuff. That's all fine, but it'd be nice. What I thought was, it would be nice if you just launched it and it would say, it would know where to go. It would find WoW and start backing up your files, and but it'll also be able to do cool stuff like, you know, it knows WoW, it knows your characters, it knows things like that. So it could structure the file, or you know, structure the data it's sending up in a way that the service could do other things, like tell you, first of all, across computers, if you run your tune on 2 different computers in hardcore, you'd have to remember to copy your file over. So the sync service would do that, or it would like, okay, it's synced on all the computers that you're playing on. But what I wanted to also do was it would diff. It'd be able to apply a diff, like to fix any. It would recognize that, okay, this character is further along on this computer than this one, so that's the one that should take precedence or whatever, instead of accidentally losing time because you because the the sync system synced the wrong one as the latest or whatever. Or actually, what you want to do is you don't want to just sync. You want to be able to merge the 2 things in case you're like offline and played for a little bit and you came back online and then like, oh wait, there's 2 different files. Alright, so I think a new plague.
Sylvanas has called upon the Royal Apothecary Society. The Dark Lady believes
I guess
our
I'll get that
knowledge
anyway.
coupled with the newfound magic will provide the key to
Delivery of
Arthas's
silver
demise.
pine.
She has challenged us to concoct a new plague, a plague deadlier than any ailment on Azeroth.
I'm pretty sure that's the guy that gives me the slumber sand. Let me take a quick
My
peek.
studies show that the blood of beasts might prove to be the key. Bring to me 5 vials of Darkhound blood so I can test my theory. Time is a luxury that is not afforded to those of us under the employ of
Yeah, this is it.
Surely
It's
you
the
know
follow-up,
this
I
by
think.
now. As a
Yeah,
member
it's the
of
second
Royal
step in this one.
Apothecary Society, it is my duty to share my knowledge with my colleagues.
The idea was
so
it would,
that our
you'd upload your
collective
file,
efforts
and
might
then the
one
centralized
day
service
provide
can
the
also
Dark
do some
Lady
other
with
stuff,
the
like, oh,
plague she so badly
it could
desires.
show you what characters you have, show you what
Take these
level they
findings to
are, and stuff like
Apothecary
that.
Renfell, who is stationed
Kind of
at
like the
the
old school
sepulchre in
armory,
Silver Pine Forest.
but for
Follow the
hardcore.
roads to the south from Bryn. From
And
the
then
city, go southwest.
and you would upload not only the hardcore add-on, but it would upload the other add-ons too. Like I used the autobiographer and stuff to kind of figure out when I did stuff, and I could take notes in here too. And the I think those are the 2. It was hardcore and when I find this guy. It was hardcore and autobiographer were the 2 add-ons it would do, and kill track. That's one of the reasons I did kill track too. So I thought it'd be cool to have that centralized service where people are using to back up and keep their hardcore tune safe, but also be able to do some stuff at the server. Kind of showing off your character, and then especially if the character dies or something, right? You still have this, like, this is who that character was and what they did. And it seems like there's a new add-on now called like Hardcore Score or something like that. And when I went to their website, it sounds like they're trying to do something similar. Maybe I'll code on that a little today. So I had it up and working. It worked really well. And I was trying to get into the Microsoft Store. so that people would trust it. Because like, who's gonna trust some random dude's like upload service where you have to install something on your PC? And I was getting through the process just fine, and we were going back and forth on some things they wanted me to do. Like, there's an approval process you have to go through, a review process, and I was getting through all the issues that they had, and it was getting really close, and decided that like the company name that I had was too sorry, the company information and the website and all that kind of stuff, it had my personal address. So, you know, when you're doing something like this, you know, I don't want anybody to like know, you know, where I live, stuff like that. I don't need to dox myself, so so I decided to form another company, LLC, specifically for that tool. And once I got that formed, I needed to update all my like my registration for the app and update my company. And I was like, oh look, I can either just spin up a whole nother like Microsoft partner thing, or I can just you know, follow a process to update my company name and my current one. And so I filed a support ticket and asked, like, which is the easiest way for me to go here? And they're like, oh, let's just update. It took me, I think, 3 months just to get them to get, like, my website and my company name updated. It just kept failing, saying something like can't verify websites, and the information you have is not verifiable. And, you know, I had everything that they needed on it. I can't remember what it was. It was something like specific about the name or something. I can't. But ultimately, I remember they didn't even ask me to do it. But I was like, okay, well, I bet this will fix it. So I went and made the who is information on the domain. Oh yeah, that's what it was, because they were trying to get me to prove that I owned the domain. And so I sent them. Here's the. Am I done with that? No, I need 2 more. Here's the receipt, because that's what they wanted. They wanted the receipt with your company name on it, and there was something slightly off about the receipt. Like, it had my company name. I can't remember what it was. It was something like the company name wasn't quite, or the dates weren't right. It was, first of all, it was like, yeah, the dates weren't right. So I had to go. No, it wasn't the dates. It was, yeah, can't remember. There was an issue where the name slightly wasn't right. So I renewed the domain with the correct full name or something like that, or the business address, and then posted the screenshot of the receipt, and they still didn't like that. Anyway, without them saying anything, I was like, I bet this will fix it, because, you know, all the who is information, I can update it right away. So why don't we just check that? So when I went and made that public, they approved it within, I don't know, 2 days after that. I was like, okay. But then after all that, I was just so exhausted with that I that plus they had announced hardcore official servers, so I kind of backburnered it. And I wish I didn't. I wish I'd kept going with it, because then by now I'd have it up and going. And as hardcore is getting a little attention again, I'd have potentially some people that could see it work. You know, the central server thing working, and they'd get on board. And anyway, but now I'm starting back at 0 again. So anyway, I might code on that a little bit today. Alright, so come on. I just need one more little dark hound dog thing. I guess I'll just keep going this way and cross the road. Stay close to Brill. And that'll be fun to pick that up again. One of the cool things it did was the data file format is, so all add-ons in WoW are Lua. It's the programming language that it's written in. And so the data files are these kind of, I don't know, Lua data dumps, which are text, they're readable, they're structured, but it's not something that's common. And I was surprised, though, that I couldn't find like a parser for it. You know, because for me to kind of be able to do more cool things with what's in the file, I need to be able to parse the file into something I can understand and work with in a different programming language. Because the kind of programming language I do for the centralized server management stuff is not Lua. Although I should look at that, it'd be fun to learn Lua. But I decided to parse it into JSON, which is a more common format that people understand. Yeah, I was surprised I didn't find one already written, so I wrote one. And that
You have done well, adventure.
unlocked a bunch of stuff, made it. Okay, so I need to kill... Oh, I gotta go to the Murlocs. Great. So we're gonna go over those Murlocs. I think these ones are... I guess it doesn't matter. Level I am, it doesn't matter. Let's go to the closest Murlocs. I guess I'll go north. 8 to 9. Clipped through a bridge. I got earth shocked on a bridge in Darkcloud Pinnacle. 1,000 needles. Yeah. How'd you get earth shocked? Do those guys earth shock? I don't think they do. I don't know. Just gonna cut north here. Alright, after talking about that now I wanna get to coding. Too many things vying for attention, y'all. Well, I guess I could just to say that I could go kill this guy. Maggot Eye over here. I won't get an achievement for it, but that's the other thing you could do, right? If you've got central stuff and you're uploading things like Autobiographer and Kill Track and Hardcore add-on, you could do, and you're a backup service, right? So you're holding all these files for people, but also you've got the whole history of files, so you can see how the file changed over time. And you can do things with that. One is, you can do centralized like achievements at the server. So the website can have achievements for you because it knows all the things that are happening, and you don't have to like have the achievements built into the add-on necessarily. There's just achievements on the website that can look at your data and decide whether you had certain achievements or not. But it can also, like, depending on how much changes over time, you can get achievements for over time stuff too. Or like if a new achievement pops up, some achievements are like, well, too bad, like there's this new achievement for taking down Arachi at level 12 or whatever, or 10, but you can't get it because we don't know that you actually did that. So anyway, having the history of the files and something like that, you could do those kinds of things because you can go back in time, so long as it's something that's tracked by one of the existing add-ons like Kill Track and stuff like that. You could do that, but you could trust it as well because you can go back to, like, for those cases where the add-on wasn't active or whatever, you could still go all the way back to, before it was an achievement and make sure that the player, truly did complete it at that point. Okay, I don't want to take on... I mean, those guys are a little beefier. And I know they're gray, but... Just fear the Murlocs, y'all. Fear the Murlocs. Okay, I need 3 more scales. Slumber Sand. So yeah, the Slumber Sand is clutch, y'all. It's get the sticky glue to snare when you're, get in trouble and you're up against more than you can handle. The sticky glue nets a tune. Okay, I thought I pulled him. Problem is like this, like these oracles are casting on me. If you net him, that doesn't matter. You're still going to lightning bolt me as I run away. Slumber Sand though will knock his ass out. So you've got 2 tools, 2 escape tools there. So that's why I come get this one. You know what? I think, even though I say it that way, I think this is technically only the 2nd time I've ever come and got Slumber Sand, so I have both Slumber Sand and sticky glue. There we go, 5 of 5, y'all. Head on back, turn this in, get to Slumber Sand. So I'll get the Slumber Sand in immediately Hearth. Guess I could do Delivery of Silverpine Forest though. No, I think I got a Hearth. Yeah, so I think I'm going to revitalize that. I might actually play with Lua. Might make some things a little easier. Here we go, sticky glue turn in, y'all. Oh, and I've got this. It's not one I put on my bar, but one to remember. And I'm just gonna leave it in the packs. Just gotta be one that I remember when I need to buff that I have it.
The scales are perfect, exactly what I needed for this concoction.
Okay, and I'm not gonna do that, so I'm gonna stop there.
I uncovered some old text
but I am gonna put this on my bar.
That indicates that an ancient plague wiped
Cool.
out
I'm gonna Hearth,
thousands of innocent
and then we're gonna call that a session.
Later, it was discovered that the deadly agent in the plague was preserved through the venom of nightweb spiders. Bring me some venom from a vicious nightweb spider to complete this experiment. I want to see if the contagious element from the